grocery shopping. So I bought tomatoes and onions and all sorts of things for cooking. Uh, and yeah, it was really fun. I had a lot of work also that I finished. So still have a lot going on though. I'm still very busy. Yeah.
Okay. Glad to hear that. I
Yeah.
I I told you, Lisa, last time that I try not to take a class at this time, but today I only took 2 classes,
Uh-huh.
so I decided to have this class. Um, yes, because I was really busy today,
Uh-huh.
and I hope that I I could sleep after your class.
Oh,
No, because the last
fantastic.
time
Yeah.
that I did it, I couldn't. I don't know. I'm thinking when I went to bed,
Uh-huh.
I continue thinking about the topic of the class. Oh.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, it was really hard to to fall asleep.
Uh, awesome. Well,
But today I think it's different because I'm not as tired as maybe that day.
uh-huh. Sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, let me know, Liliana, if I'm going for on and on and on and on. You got to tell me, hey, I need to go to sleep. Stop. You
No,
know?
no, no, no.
Okay.
I'm ready to listen to listen to attend your class.
Uh-huh. Fantastic. Well, welcome, welcome as always.
Thank you.
Julissa, yes, Colingo has changed, right?
Yes, I noticed when
Yes, I
I joined
recently saw
the class.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
this
Google changed
just
everything.
now, right?
Between today and between 10 hours ago and now, yeah, I think this afternoon.
Was
Yeah.
Google? Was
Really?
Google?
It was Google, yeah, it's Google changed it, I think. I don't think it's Colingo, guys.
Uh,
No,
I
but
think
Colingo
Google.
it has
no,
changed.
yes, it's calling. Yes,
It's
because the
orange.
yes the
Orange color.
each teacher
Oh,
is different, and the topic of the class.
oh, I didn't even check.
And
And you
I
look, and you look.
know, I know. I didn't even look to see the Colingo anything.
uh,
Ay, 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 Dios mío.
Dios mío.
Yeah, it did change, right? It did change actually. Wow,
Yeah.
you guys are geniuses. Wow. Alrighty, so that's awesome. And Saul, welcome back. How's it going?
Hi Farhan, hi everybody.
Hi. So.
Here in the same way, so surprising with the new design of
Mm,
Hangout and Colingo.
mm,
Yeah, this is really cool actually.
nice.
Uh, well,
I like it.
yes, it's better. I need to change a little.
Okay, so it's not Google, it's Colingo then. Fantastic.
Is the
Yes.
is the is the two because in my Hangout I have a new interface.
Uh-huh.
What is a new Google? I don't see anything.
I I will share with you my my screen that you can see how
Okay.
is the difference is
Uh,
Ah,
now is in all the screen and the in the menu is more tiny, you
Mm-hmm.
know here,
yes.
and I don't know,
And
it's
it is
but
and
but
it
but
is
before
black.
we can.
yeah, it's all black, it's more simplistic. I don't know how is the word for for that min
Mm-hmm. So
minimalist.
minimalist, yeah, I think minimalist is a good way to talk about it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a interface more cleaner.
Mm,
I
I
don't
have
know.
the old. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's suddenly today I realized that I have this interface.
yeah, the image
It's
is
nice.
clearer, more clear than before.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's the same. I didn't
For
notice
me too.
a different
Where,
image or a clearer image.
where am I? Where am I?
Marcelo, todo beleza, professor?
Ô, teacher, tudo beleza?
Tudo bem?
Mudaram o site aqui, o website? They
Muito
changed?
obrigado, muito obrigado.
It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you as well.
You know that I think that you are a nice teacher, no?
Yes. It's,
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, everybody, one and all. Welcome. So, a few other people joining, actually. That's great.
What happened to the website? I was seeing
I
it.
think everything changed. Julissa noticed before me, so Julissa,
Yeah.
you can share with Marcelo what you guys found. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I wasn't too. I saw
I just come and teach, guys. Yeah,
it
that's
is
not.
different.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It is
but I
orange
only noticed
and
when I
blue.
joined your class. Because in the previous class, I
Uh-huh.
didn't notice anything. I didn't see
But
anything different.
one thing that I didn't like is everything is in Portuguese. You know, when I came in the website, I saw
Uh,
everything in Portuguese, not in English.
Oh, yes, it is in Spanish.
Oh,
uh, I
You see in
didn't.
Spanish.
Yeah.
oh.
I think it would be better it's in English. You know.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's for beginners or some
You
beginners that
you
want to
can
For
join
beginners.
Kotlin.
you
Yeah.
can change the idiom bottom of the page. There are three languages: Spanish, Portuguese, and
Yes,
English.
yes.
Uh-huh. That's great. That's great. No, they changed a lot of stuff. It looks beautiful now, actually. I'm very happy about this.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
very, very cool. Awesome,
But
guys. Well,
it was a beta, no? Beta. It was beta.
yes, it was. It was, right? So let's take a look, guys. Let's take a look then. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. You guys are keeping me connected. You guys are keeping everybody connected. This is what makes my job so much more amazing, right? Uh, Before we get started, though, we have somebody new. How are you doing, Abo?
Hello guys. Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you, Abo?
Good.
Where are you from?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Nice to have you in our class. How long have you
Thank
been on
you.
Colingo, Abo?
This week I become.
Being a Colingo member this week.
Yep.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, let's all go around and briefly introduce ourselves, guys, to Abo, and then we can get started. So I'll start real quick, guys. Abo, my name's Farhan. I live in the United States. I'm 24 years old, and I've been teaching on Colingo for about 3 months now.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Saul, you want to start, and we'll just go to the left?
What?
Do you
I
mind?
am
Hi.
testing some stuff with the code of the new pages.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
for example, I will share my screen,
Uh-huh.
and you can see now the Colingo can, if you change the resolution, the page, it will adapt to the new content.
Wow, that's awesome. So they changed a lot of different things, right?
You Are you seeing the style of the page?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do see it. Yeah.
And before we have the link that says I want to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Great, great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's awesome.
Great, 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 great. Okay, guys. So Saul, do you mind just
We
to
are
say?
all distracted.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, guys. No problems. Saul,
Colingo fault.
do you mind introducing yourself to our new student Abo, and we'll keep going that
Okay,
way. Yeah.
my name is Saul Burgos. I am from Nicaragua. I have been in Colingo for, I don't know, 3 months, I guess. And I am here to improve my English, and know friends, and I don't know, meet and know another culture.
Uh-huh.
Nice to
Fantastic.
meet you all.
Okay, thank
Marcelo, next up is you, sir.
Yeah. Hello, Abo. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
Yeah, fine. My name is Marcelo, and my nickname is Brad Pitt. No, as people used to call me. I am from Brazil, Okay, I'm studying at Colingo for 1 week just. No, yeah, 1 week, yeah. I have been studying here.
Nice to meet you, Marcelo.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry. No, I noticed that maybe Colingo will teach another languages.
Maybe. You know, I actually talked about that with somebody, and we want to. We are looking into that.
Spanish, for instance.
Spanish, yeah.
They teach you Spanish too?
No, well, not yet. I don't think, but we're looking into
Portuguese,
it.
French, Arabic, Russian.
I don't know who is coping to him, but I know that another services like Colingo, and they teach in the same way all other language, but is the same. I don't know who is coping who.
I have no idea either, honestly. But yeah, Liliana, let's go ahead and continue to introduce ourselves, and then we'll get started with our class.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. That's fine. Go for it. It's fine. We love to talk. We know that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Liliana from Colombia. I studied interior design, and I'm here because I would like to get a well-paid job as in a bilingual position. That's all about me.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you, Liliana.
Nice to meet you.
And Julissa, last but not least, please.
Yes, hi, Abu. My name is Julissa. I am from Peru, South America. And well, I'm here like everybody else to keep improving English. I like this beautiful language.
Fantastic.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, it's my turn, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
My name is Abu Rayyan. I'm from Saudi Arabia, 27 years, university student, and I've been interested in Kalingo since last month, but I didn't have time for that, so I just joined this week, and it's a good opportunity to meet people from around the world, speak English, and practice, and make friends.
Fantastic. All great reasons. Welcome. So we're going to be looking at two different things today, like we do in most of our classes, right? The first thing that we're going to look at is we are going to be learning about the different kinds of prepositions of place, right? So prepositions of place. And prepositions of place are used to indicate different locations, for example, locational similarities between one place and another, right? So we are going to be learning specifically about the words on, in, and at, which always cause some confusion, even for native speakers, right? So we're going to be taking a look at that, and then in the second part of the lesson, we are going to be investigating an article specific to a recent event that took place in the United Nations when Abo's country, actually Saudi Arabia, so it's good to have you in class, Abo. Saudi Arabia rejected their seat on the UN Security Council, which is something that is very quite rare. You know, it's very rare. It might have actually been the first time in the history of the United Nations that a country refused to accept the seat to be on the Security Council. And as far as I know, that has not changed. So it's something that is it was Saudi Arabia's message to the world. It was a way for them to show that they were unhappy about certain things, right? So we will be looking at that, and we'll be taking a look to see how that affects regional politics in the Middle East, as well as maybe international diplomacy as a whole, right? Fantastic. Thank you, Marcelo. Maybe because of the new software, maybe they improved something with the sound, so it's a little bit easier, right?
Okay.
Yeah, guys. So awesome. Let's get started then. So when we talk about prepositions of place, right, we are talking about on, in, and at, right? These are the three main words that we are using. So we can use on to talk about things that are resting on a surface, right? Really, the way I think about it is just think of a table and think of anything you can put on a table, right? Then think of the floor, right? Think of the wall, right? The wall is a surface. Your table is a surface. The floor is a surface, right? Even by extension, a desk or a bed, right? They're surfaces. They're flat surfaces, right? So you can say the food is on the table, right? The painting is on the wall, right? The map is on the wall, right? There are clothes on the floor. My dirty clothes are on the floor, right? Any of those examples we can use on, right? So we're talking about something that is resting, physically resting on a surface, right? So that's the first type of situation that we use on, right? So let me write this down. On, we can say resting on a surface. Something is resting on a surface, right? We also use on when we are talking about a vehicle or a mode of transportation, right? There are some exceptions to this, but in general, if we are talking about something that we are riding, some vehicle that we are using to get from one location to another, we can use on, right? I was riding my bicycle is one way to say it, or I was on my bicycle, right? I was sitting on my bicycle, I was riding my bicycle, I was on my bicycle when I saw the accident, right? Maybe you're on the street, you were on your bicycle, right? You were on your motorcycle, bicycle, same situation, right? I was on a horse, right? He's never been on a horse. Somebody who's never rode a horse, he's never been on a horse, right? On an elephant, right? Any other animal, on a camel, right? On a camel, on an elephant, on a horse, right? These are all different examples. So we're talking about transportation, right? Not just animals, right? We can extend this to be more things, right? On the bus, on the train, on the plane, right? On a ship, right? So on a cruise, right? Some of us, I think we had a class recently and somebody mentioned, what's the difference between ship and boat, right? And the way I think about it is, think of a cruise ship, right? A cruise ship, you are on a cruise ship, which means that you are on a ship and you're on a cruise. It keeps them all consistent, right? So most everything in terms of transportation, we use on, right? So if it's a mode of transportation, we use on. There are two exceptions to this rule. The two exceptions that I can think of are boat and car, right? For boat and car, you say in. I was in the car, I was in the boat when something happened, right? For everything else that I can think of, most of them.
In the boat, you said? In the boat or on
in
the
the
boat?
It's in the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually in the boat, right? So it's actually one of those exceptions, right? In the boat, in the car. Everything else is on, more or less. Everything else is on. Talking about transportation. In the taxi, yeah, exactly, right? Because it's a kind of car, right? In the taxi, right? So that's what we see.
In the skateboard, for instance.
The skateboard. Oh, now see,
Yeah.
that is a complicated thing. Now, see, this, if we say in the skateboard, that would mean physically inside. So we have to actually say on the skateboard, right?
Okay,
So really, if you're talking about a mode of transportation, anything that has wheels that helps you move, if you're on an animal, whatever, most of those examples, almost all of them are on, right? The only exceptions I can think of are in, or for our car and boat, exactly. Thanks for the reminder. See, I'm getting confused by this stuff. Yeah.
A motorcycle, for instance.
Motorcycle.
I am on the motorcycle or I'm in the motorcycle?
It's on the motorcycle.
On the motorcycle, okay.
On the motorcycle, yeah, exactly, right? So mode of transportation, right? And then we are also looking at, okay, so that's the first part, right? I want to talk about, so for on, we saw resting on a surface or a mode of transportation, except for car and boat, right? So can we each think of an example for on? Let's start with Abo on the left, and let's work our way to the right. So Abo, could you please go ahead? Any sentence you can think of using on.
I go to the school on foot.
I go to the school on foot.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic, right? People say on foot, right? So even if you're walking somewhere, you say on foot, right? So I go there, I want to go there on foot, right?
Can I say by foot?
But by foot? I think it was by foot too.
You can say both.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say both. I want to go there by
Okay.
foot. I want to go there on foot.
Okay, let me change my example.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But you can use both, Abo. You can use both.
All
So,
right.
so it was correct. It was correct. But we have heard both, right? This is what makes English crazy, right? Really, what makes English very crazy, right? So you can say on foot or by foot. Good job, Abo. You'll have other chances to try. Don't worry. Don't worry.
All
You'll have
right.
other chances. Yeah. Julissa, please go ahead with another example, please.
Mm. There was so much dust on the floor.
There was so much dust on the floor, right? Fantastic. There was so much dust on the floor, right? Liliana, please.
I'm thinking in traveling on a plane next year. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Or I am flying on a plane now.
I'm traveling on a plane now. Yeah, yeah, fantastic, right? Makes it a lot easier. Or I'm traveling on a plane now. Or I'm on a plane now. Honestly, you can just use I'm on a plane
On a
now.
plane?
On a plane, yeah.
In a plane. Because
No.
but she's in the plane.
Yeah, you're in the plane, but you're on the plane.
On.
Okay.
It's crazy, Marcelo. This is how it works, honestly, right?
Yeah, I am go bananas.
Yeah, right. It's easy to go bananas, right? It's very common, right? You can say, yeah, for mode of translation, we're saying I'm on a plane, yeah.
I think it's for most of the public transportation.
Yes, yes.
On.
Is on, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
On subway.
Yep, yep. I'm on the subway. I'm on the train. I'm on the subway. Yep. I'm on the metro. Yeah, yeah. All of those examples, right? So Marcelo, what's an example from you?
I'll give you an easier one. My laptop is on the table.
My laptop is on the table. Fantastic, right? We're talking about a surface, right? And Saul, last but not least.
The portrait of my mother is on the wall.
The portrait of my mother is on the wall. Fantastic, right? I have lots of photos also. Yeah, we hang them on the wall, right? Fantastic. Any questions, guys, on? No questions so far? Okay. Just one thing I wanted to mention to you guys, right? So I was doing some research while we were asking, and it is correct. Both on foot and by foot, both of them are correct. But, okay, it is more common to use on foot. Yeah, it's actually more common to use on foot, right? However, okay, a big however, we cannot say never, ever, ever. We don't say on feet or by feet. Okay? These are wrong. Okay? Never, ever, ever. It's not on feet or by feet. It's just on foot or, less commonly, by foot. Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic, guys. So now let's take a look at the next type of word, the next preposition, which we looked at on. Let's take a look at in, right? When do we describe in? So in, or when do we use in? We use in when we are talking about a position of something that is enclosed, right? Think about something that is enclosed by something else, that is defined by boundaries. It has boundaries, right? Or something that is defined by a natural medium, right? It's in the water, it's in some kind of liquid, it's in some kind of gas, right? Those things we say in, right? So if you think about a room, right? I love to use the example of a room because the room really allows you to think of, okay, something is inside the room, right? Something is inside a box, right? To talk about locations, right? I love to use the park as an example, right? I'm walking in the park, right? You're inside the park. It has boundaries, right? You know where the park ends. You know where the park begins, right? That's another way to think about it, right? Also, countries, right? Countries have boundaries. I am in Colombia this week. I will go to Japan next week, right? Or I am in Madison, Wisconsin. I am in Florida, you know, whatever. I'm in, you know, Minas Gerais province, right? Whatever you want to say, if it has borders, then we can use in also, right? But there are many exceptions, right? when we think sometimes of boundaries, we get confused, and that causes some issues, right? That's why I want to ask you guys to make some sentences and ask some good questions about in, right? I can start by writing some of these things, right? So for in, we use, for example, something that is enclosed by boundaries, right? Has boundaries. Something that is physically inside something, like a box, right? And also for something like physically inside something like a box or natural media, right? So something that is in some natural media, for example, water or any kind of liquid or gas, right? Or even space. People say, I am in outer space, right? Those astronauts are in outer space, right? So this is how we use in a little bit more specifically. Saul, do you want to start with some examples?
Okay. Can I say I am in classes with Colingo?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in class, or I am in a Colingo class, or I'm in class with Colingo.
Okay, but how class fits in that definition with boundary?
Because think of the class as being like in a classroom almost, right? The classroom has boundaries.
Okay.
You can leave the classroom, you can come into the classroom. Yeah, that's one way to think about it. Yeah, so that's good. I'm in class with Colingo. Marcelo, another example from you, please.
Yeah, using in?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I am in my bedroom, thinking to hit the sack because I'm completely beat.
Awesome. I am in my bedroom thinking of hitting the sack because I'm completely beat. Right? So Marcelo used a lot of colloquial American English in his phrase, right? So I am in my bedroom. That was the only normal part, right? Thinking of hitting the sack, which is a way to say, what does that mean, Marcelo, to hit the sack?
To go to bed.
Absolutely. And what does it mean when you say, I am totally beat?
Tired.
Yeah. When you're
Exhausted.
100... Exhausted, right? Yeah. When you're 100% exhausted, man, I am totally beat today, right? You are just done. You're done with the day. You can't wait to hit the sack. You can't wait to go to sleep, right? So I'm in my bedroom thinking of hitting the sack because I am totally beat, right? Golden star for you, Professor. Golden star.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, Liliana, por favor.
Hitting the... sorry, I have a question
Sure,
before.
sure, yeah.
Hitting the sack is going to the bed?
Going to bed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcelo.
You're welcome.
A new expression for me. Okay. Now, okay, no. I have a doubt here. Can I say I'm in the museum looking at the new exposition of a friend? Or I'm at the museum?
It's better to say at the museum.
At the museum?
Yeah, because...
Yeah.
I know, right? It's so confusing. I'm in the museum. In this example, you are physically inside the museum. Let's use in the museum.
Yes.
I think it's better.
I'm looking at the exposition.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in the museum looking at the exposition. Yep. I think that works. I think that works really well. Right? You can also think of it as maybe you're inside a mall, you're shopping, right? I'm in the mall shopping for clothes. Yeah, but both of those things are the in and the at. It's so confusing when you're talking about a location. I can see people say I'm at the museum, and it'll still sound 100% correct.
So I can use both in this sentence.
You can use both, but honestly, I think what you said first was better. I think in is better.
Okay.
Because you're in that physical space, you're watching an exposition. I think it's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Great job. Yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, Abo.
Okay. I like to watch the TV in my bedroom.
Fantastic. I like to watch TV in my bedroom, right? Fantastic. So it's an enclosed area, right? It's an enclosed area, rooms and classes and all these kinds of things. Countries, right? We can say in for these examples, right? Now we're going to look at the very last example, and this is where things get a little confusing because sometimes we see the difference between in and at gets a little crazy, right? So when we use at, guys, we are talking about the position of a person or people or something. The position of something at a specific point, right? Really, that is the main way at is different, right? We're talking about a specific point. Or if it's a general place, then we understand where it is based on the context of the sentence, right? So the focus is on a specific location. But even if it's not a specific location, if there's enough information in the sentence to let us know where it is, then we can use at, right? So the best example, one of the best examples that I like to think of is when we say somebody is at the door, right? Somebody came to your house and they're at the door, right? They are waiting for you to let them inside, right? They are not inside your house yet because they are still at the door, right? So they have not entered the boundary of your house, which would make them in your home, right? They are still at the door, they are still just at your house, right? So we use at a lot when we reach a location, but we haven't entered that location, right? So I am waiting for you at the park. Okay, maybe you are inside the park, whatever, but we say waiting at a location, right? It makes sense because usually when you're waiting for somebody, you wait, outside the park, outside the movie theater, right? Outside the school, right? I'm waiting for you at school. Where are you, right? The understanding is that you're waiting outside. You're at the border of the school and the outside.
Could I say I'm at the beach?
I'm at the beach, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually better to say I'm at the beach because when you're saying in the beach doesn't make any sense, right?
Okay.
For some words, you actually have to use at for location.
And for example, if I'm in a shopping center, as you said before, waiting for someone for example, in the at the entrance of the shopping center, but I am in the shopping center, so can I say I'm waiting for you in the shopping center near, for example, to some shop?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that definitely. If you're specifying the location of where you are, right? Then you can use in. However, Liliana, it is better. I really liked your example at the beginning. You were saying at the entrance. That is a great way to think about the location or the word at, right? So even if you're inside the mall, right, you can say, I am waiting for you inside at the end or at the shoe store. Right? I'm waiting for you inside, so the person knows, okay, you're inside the mall, but you are at a physical location, at a specific location, right? So I'm waiting for you inside at the McDonald's, at the food court, at the shoe store, right? It's a little bit more specific, and you can use in and at in combination in those sentences, right? So so I can write it here too. I am waiting for you inside the mall at the shoe center or the shoe store. Or you can say, I am waiting for you, I am inside the mall waiting for you at the food court, right? Whatever. Yeah, that way you can use both of these words, right? You can use both the preposition of in and the preposition for out, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So other examples, right? If somebody is at the bottom of the ocean, right? The submarine is at the bottom of the ocean, right? The mountain climber is at the top of Mount Everest, right? So those are specific points at the top of a mountain, at the bottom of the ocean, right? Those are specific points that we can say, right? So let's go with some examples. Abo, do you want to start?
Okay. I work at restaurants across of the street.
I work at the restaurant across the street. Fantastic, right? You work at a location. You wait for someone at a location, right? Great job. I work at the restaurant across the street. Fantastic. Liliana, one from you, please.
Okay, I'm waiting for you inside the airport near the custom office.
Fantastic, that works, right? I'm waiting for you inside the airport near the customs office, right? Or you can even say at the customs office.
At the yes, at the custom. I like to use at the custom office.
Fantastic, fantastic. Marcelo, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I am at the beach catching some rays. I'm waiting for you.
I am at the beach catching some sun rays and waiting for you, right? Fantastic. Yeah. I am at the beach catching some sun rays. Or actually, it's a little bit better to say, Marcelo, catching some sun rays. You can say something like, I'm at the beach, catching some sun rays. Taking in some sun. Yeah, you know, taking in some sun and waiting for you, right? I think it's nice to say both of those. Thank you for that. Liliana, you helped me when I couldn't think, right? Fantastic. I'm at the beach taking in some sun and waiting for you. Right? Okay. You're taking in some rays of the sun. Yeah, yeah.
Could it be both?
It could be what? I'm sorry? It could be both?
Both.
Catching some rays? It works. It works. It actually sounds kind of cool. Yep. It's very unique. It's very Marcelo, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. I approve. I approve.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. Good job. Okay, so last but not least, Sal.
The journalist is waiting for you at the reception.
Fantastic, right? Somebody is waiting for you. Who was the person again, Sal?
The journalist is waiting for you at the reception.
Fantastic. The journalist is waiting for you at the reception, right? The journalist is waiting for you, and maybe at the reception desk or something like that, right? Sometimes in English we can say reception desk, or at the reception would also work, actually. I think in Spanish you guys say reception means a location also, right? Like a like a waiting room almost.
Like a lobby.
Like a lobby, yeah, fantastic. Okay, we can use it. We can use lobby. We can use reception, reception desk, all those combinations. Yeah, good job, guys. Any questions with regarding in or on or at, guys?
No, on this screen.
So far, so good.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Let's get started then, guys. Let's take a look at this article that we are taking a look to see what the situation is in the United Nations after a very prominent, diplomatic situation with Saudi Arabia, right? So let's take a look here, guys. Here is the link. I'm going to paste it in the article or in the chat window. You guys can open it up, and I'm also going to be screen sharing here so that we can all see the screen. Okay. So BBC Middle East, right? Saudi Arabia turns down UN Security Council seat. Okay. Saudi Arabia has turned down a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council, accusing the world body of double standards. The Saudi Foreign Ministry said the UN needs to be reformed first. It said the Security Council had failed in its duties towards Syria as well as in other world conflicts. Saudi Arabia has previously expressed frustration at what it sees as an international failure to act on Syria, where it staunchly backs the rebels. There has been no official reaction from the UN, but diplomats there expressed surprise at Riyadh's announcement. Riyadh is the capital of Saudi Arabia. So, Russia's foreign ministry called the move bewildering. Bewildering means very surprising, right? So Russia's foreign ministry called the move bewildering and said Saudi Arabia's criticism of the UN Security Council about its actions over Syria is particularly strange. The announcement came hours after Saudi Arabia was elected for the first time to one of the 10 rotating seats on the Security Council. The non-permanent members will sit on the Council for 2 years, along with the 5 permanent members, the US, UK, France, China, and Russia. Work mechanisms and double standards on the Security Council prevent it from carrying out its duties and assuming its responsibilities in keeping world peace, the Saudi Foreign Ministry said in a statement. Therefore, Saudi Arabia has no other option but to turn down Security Council membership until it is reformed and given the means to accomplish its duties and assume its responsibilities in preserving the world's peace and security, it added. The failure to find a solution to the Palestinian cause for 65 years had led to numerous wars that have threatened world peace, the foreign ministry said. It also criticizes the UN's failure to rid the Middle East region of weapons of mass destruction, including nuclear weapons. And it accused the UN of allowing the Syrian government to kill its own people with chemical weapons without confronting it or imposing any deterrent sanctions. The UN Security Council last month finally broke a 2.5-year deadlock on how to deal with the conflict in Syria after voting unanimously to adopt a binding resolution on ridding the country of chemical weapons. Saudi observers say Riyadh would have been working for years to gain a place on the UN Security Council, so such a decision would have been made at the very top of the kingdom's leadership. One Security Council diplomat quoted by Associated Free Press said the announcement was totally unexpected and without precedent. Another said there was nothing controversial about the election, but the government has made it clear in recent weeks that it is concerned about Syria and the Palestine issue, right? So sometimes I like to have these conversations that are all about world politics and international politics, right? Here, just to offer you guys a little bit of background, right? Saudi Arabia, and Abo, at any time feel free to jump in because I don't live in Saudi Arabia, so I might not know. Saudi Arabia is a very prominent country in the Arab world, right? If you look at the size of the country, if you look at the population, not so much, but the wealth and the size of the country is very influential in Middle Eastern politics, right? And these UN Security Council seats, right, you get them for 2 years, and many countries work many years to get enough votes and enough popularity to sit on the UN Security Council, right? It's a very prestigious position for a country to be in, right? And after so many years of maybe working for this position, when Saudi Arabia was actually elected to the seat, they refused to accept it. And their main reason was the United Nations is not an effective body, right? It's not an international organization that is getting the job done, according to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia believes that the UN should do more to prevent the many kinds of, wars and conflicts that we see in the Middle East. Specifically, they focused on 2 big issues. They focused on Syria, which, as we know before from other classes, is a war zone, right? And they're focusing on the issue of Palestine, which has been the constant pain in the neck for both Arab and Israeli leaders for the past 65 years, right? So, but what they did by refusing to accept this seat is unprecedented, right? Countries do not give up something this prestigious. I mean, it's like saying you get elected to the office to be the president of your country, and you say, nope, I don't want it, right? It's very rare for people to do something like that, and in this case, for a country of Saudi Arabia's influence to do something like this, right? So let's start with Saul. I hope I gave a little bit of background, Saul, but what do you think about this? Do you think this is something that is going to maybe help the Middle East, hurt the Middle East? What can we maybe say about this issue?
In fact, today I read an article that was talking about that, and the article said that the Middle East is going to it will be worse because how is the pronoun Sarabia Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia is going to form newest group of militia to defend his purpose in his right. So they will be for new groups of people to fight against what they think are their enemies. So it's not a good idea based on the article that I read. But first But personally, I don't know what is going to happen.
I don't think I don't
It's
think
very
anybody
blur
knows.
all that. Very blur all that.
It's a very blurry, absolutely. It's a very blurry image, right? So, I mean, we don't, even I would argue most people in the Middle East itself don't know what's going on, right? We have a very limited idea, and especially if, if we rely on the news media, one news channel says one thing, another news channel says something else. It's very difficult to get an image of what's actually happening, right? So I agree 100%. So, Marcelo, what do you think about this issue?
I don't know anything about this issue.
Well, I mean, what would happen? Let's think about it in the case of Brazil, right? Let's say Brazil is maybe the most powerful country in South America. I think I can say that pretty fairly, right? Brazil is
Yeah.
a very powerful country in South America. So let's say Brazil gets the chance to be on the United Nations, one of these members, rotating members. For 2 years, Brazil can introduce a lot of ideas to the United Nations. They can do a lot of amazing things. But then Brazil says, no, we don't want this seat because we have problems with Argentina, we have problems with maybe the question of, corruption. Let's say Brazil has a lot of corruption. So Brazil says, until the United Nations fixes corruption around the world, Brazil cannot be a part of this council. I mean, isn't that kind of a surprise? Because considering what you can gain from a position like this, right? At the last minute, saying something like, because of the UN, because the UN has problems, because the United Nations is not solving our problems, we refuse to be a part of the United Nations Security Council, right? I mean,
right.
What we learn, sometimes in school, people tell us, like, my teachers told me, if you see a problem, work to become a part of the solution, right?
Yeah.
So here it seems like Saudi Arabia is saying we don't want to be a part of the only international body that can come with a solution, right? So they're almost refusing to be a part of the solution, which, I don't know, what do you think about that?
It's a hard question for me.
I always ask hard questions.
Yeah, no, it's a hard question because I don't know so much about this issue,
Yeah, no,
this
that's
topic.
fair.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's fair, but I mean, just let's think about it this way. If you saw a problem, Marcelo, maybe something in your personal life, in your neighborhood, right, and you didn't like the people in your neighborhood, right? They don't do anything. They're corrupt, policía militar, everything. They don't do anything, right? Wouldn't you want to be a part of the solution, or would you say it's not my business, I'm going to stay out?
Yeah, I think you should be part of the solution.
Uh-huh.
To try to solve the problem, to try
to at least say your problems, maybe share your problems.
Yeah,
right?
sure, yeah, I know. Yeah,
because then people can hear, okay, now Saudi Arabia has a seat. They can now tell us their problems, right? But if they even refuse the seat, then it's like, okay, you're not really telling us what your problems are, right? I mean, you can be a part of the solution or you can choose not to be, right? So thank you for that, Marcelo. I like that.
Yeah, I have to study more about this stuff.
Sure, absolutely. No, that's very honest. Liliana, what do you think about this issue?
But I think they are right, because the article said that this council haven't solved anything about Syria and the situation in Palestine, and they don't do anything about the chemical weapons. If they don't give a solution for this problem in Middle East, I think something is something is grown in between the members of the countries that are taking part in it. I think if my country, for example, try to get a seat in this council, and they know that they don't. So, for example, the problems that we have with the guerrilla and
FARC, right?
FARC and paramilitaries here, it isn't worth to have a seat if they don't give us a solution, or they don't collaborate with us to keep or to have the peace in our country. So it doesn't make sense, yes, if they don't have a good option or to give an effective results to the situation in my country. I think maybe if I belong to the, or if I'm part of the government, I would take the same decision for my country. I speak about my country.
No, that's interesting, William. That's a great perspective, right? I mean, I was questioning why the reasoning was to not become a part of the solution, but sometimes you have to take a stand. You have to be you have to do something bold to make your point.
But right? if you are the only one who vote against the decision that they take, you can do anything.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Last but not least, Abo, you are from Saudi Arabia. What is your view on this?
I kind of not interested in politics.
Okay. But I mean, have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have heard about this. You know, most of the media here usually have some politics program on their show. So the decision is, as the article described, is unpresented, and I think doing that, Saudi Arabia has shown the world that there is a real issue in UN Security Council, and it's occupied by the five large power in the world, and there is conflict of interest between the West and the East. So if there is an issue like a nuclear program in Iran, and Iran has a good relationship with Russia, and also the problem in Syria, and Syria we know that has a very good relation with Iran. So any decision from the America or UK or France, and probably Russia or China will use the photo against the decision, and this Saudi Arabia, by doing this move, I think they are asking the other country to protest against the current condition in the UN, and to add more country to the premium members, because premium member only 5 countries, and those countries usually has a lot of interest in the world, and based on their interest they make the decisions. And if they add the country, some of the developed country, their issue can be heard, and add more developed country as a premium members. I think their issue can be heard, and the union will change.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, these 5 members, Russia, China, the US, England, and the UK, and France. I'm sorry, England and UK are the same. So US, Russia, France, England, and China, right? These 5 countries control everything at the UN. I mean, if somebody says something against any country, and you know, just like we heard with Iran, right? Iran is a good example. Iran is supported by China and Russia. So if the world introduces something against Iran, China and Russia, 2 of the 5, you know, that's 40%. They will say, we are going to veto this. We don't want this because Iran is our friend, right? Similarly, on the other side, the United States tends to be a very strong ally of Israel, right? So if something happens that is anti-Israeli, the United States usually says, we will veto that law, right? And or veto that, you know, that position. So I am actually very interested to see, and Abo, you bring up this point, right? How the United Nations will change in the next 20 to 30 years. If I could, say my opinions to the United Nations, I would say we need Brazil and we need Germany on the international, among the premium members. I think Brazil should be immediately a representative because we don't have anything representing South America. We don't have anything representing, anything south of the U.S. There is no country in the Western Hemisphere, right? That's garbage. I mean, we are looking at a post-World War II model, and World War II, I'm sorry, it was 60 years ago, 65 years ago. So I say Brazil and I say Germany because France is garbage. I mean, no, I'm joking. I'm not. I shouldn't say that. No, I shouldn't say that. France, I think France and England are two European countries in the same area. I don't know how France is contributing to international security anymore. I honestly don't know. Is France a strong international power? I mean, they have nuclear weapons, but they're not doing anything major, I don't think, in the international world, right? So, but anyway, France can stay. I'm not saying anything bad about France. I was just joking, guys. Just joking. France can stay, but I think Germany or maybe Japan should join as well.
Yeah.
Because we need some industrial countries on there, but definitely Brazil.
But you know what, Farhan, the UN is only for rule the poor country because the great country not always take in account the rule of the UN. For example, the United States never paid attention with the United Nations about Cuba, for example. They always ignore all the law in favor of Cuba or other issues about the United States that affect their politics. They never do what the other countries said. Only when the United States wants.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I think there are too many. Do we really need two countries in Europe? I mean, England and France. Maybe England should also give up. I mean, I think England and France are always on the same side as the United States. It doesn't even matter. We should just replace them with Germany, or maybe keep one of them and keep Germany. And I don't know. I mean, some countries say India should also be a permanent member. India is not ready. I honestly don't think India is ready. Brazil, I think, is ready. I think maybe in 25 years, Brazil will be very powerful in international politics, especially because in the Western Hemisphere, America and Brazil, I mean, the two most populated countries, we should have at least two countries from the Western Hemisphere.
I think now Chile has a good economical situation. Maybe, if I'm not wrong, I'm sorry, Marcelo, maybe better than Brazil now, because I heard that Chile has a good, it's in a good situation now.
Economic situation, yeah. I heard that as well, yeah. But Brazil, I think, has more of a cultural power in South America. I think definitely population and culture is very strong. But
Brazil,
yeah, go ahead, Marcelo. Yeah.
Brazil is on the board of the UN 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's the biggest country in Latin America. It's Brazil.
Absolutely.
Population in Brazil.
But just for a while, just for 2013, just for some time,
Just for some time, yeah.
Yeah.
And after World Cup, I think Brazil will be great country.
Yeah, World Cup and Olympics. You guys got two.
And Olympics, yeah.
And Olympics, right? So you got two of those events. Brazil will become an international leader, I think. I mean, look at how powerful China is, right? China is definitely going to stay, right? But honestly, guys, I don't know. When I think about France, I don't know. Is France really doing diplomatic stuff in the world? Maybe they are helping in Syria. I know they're helping in Syria. They are helping in Africa also. But really, I mean, I don't know how much France is doing. We need some other European countries or some Japan or, Brazil, just more people,
Yes, we need a representative of other countries.
Maybe Africa, a country from Africa, maybe also. Yeah, Marcelo, go ahead.
The problem in Brazil is there are a lot of corruption, no? Cops, corruption, political corruptions, embezzlements. Do you know what I mean? Embezzlements.
Embezzlements, yeah, embezzlements.
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 Yeah.
There's the
people stealing money, keeping money.
Yeah.
All sorts of those problems, right? But so, I mean, Abba, what do you think about all of this? We all got a chance to talk. I wanted to hear your reaction.
About what?
about just as other stuff we talked about. Yeah, just as other stuff we talked about, I guess. Like France and Japan and all these other countries, Germany.
Yeah, we probably need some strong country to join the UN as premium members. And try to buy the power in the UN right now, and try to represent more underrepresented communities.
Yeah, I think honestly the biggest problem with the UN is it's still a post-World War II organization. I mean, France, England, and America were the three countries that defeated Germany. So they defeated, they were the allies. Russia also defeated. So 4 out of the 5 countries are from World War II, right? And China you just have to have because China is the world's largest country, huge economy, right? So, I mean, 4 countries, out of the 5 countries, 4 are from World War II. World War II was so long ago. I mean, do England and France especially, I don't think England and France have that same level of power that they did in back in those days, right? So I don't know, guys. I love France. Okay, don't tell French people Farhan hates France. But it's as a country, I really don't know how much they're doing. I mean, diplomatically, but maybe that's because I live here and I don't know, right? But anyway, guys. Technically, we're at the end of class, but did we have any questions about prepositions of place, on, in, at, or about this article, diplomacy, international affairs, relations, France? Did you guys have anything else you wanted to ask about, talk about?
Just one thing.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for the class.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Alright, take care, guys. Yeah, you guys.
Good night. Bye-bye.
You too. Marcelo.
Bye-bye.
Take care,
I will say just one thing here.
Sure, Marcelo, go ahead.
I'm gonna go hit the sack right now.
You're gonna go hit the sack. Fantastic. Alrighty, guys. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
It is
I
orange
only
and
noticed when
blue.
I joined your class. Because in the previous class, I didn't notice anything. I didn't see anything different.
One thing that I didn't like is everything is in Portuguese. When I came in the website, I saw everything in Portuguese, not in English.
Oh, yes. It's in Spanish.
You see in Spanish?
Yeah.
I think it would be better if it's in English,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's for beginners.
You can change the idiom bottom of the page. There are 3 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, and English.
That's great. Now they changed a lot of stuff. It looks beautiful now. Actually, I'm very happy about this. Very, very cool. Awesome, guys.
It was a beta, no? Beta. It was beta.
Yes, it was, right? So let's take a look, guys. Let's take a look then. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. You guys are keeping me connected. You guys are keeping everybody connected. This is what makes my job so much more amazing, right? Before we get started, though, we have somebody new. How are you doing, Abo?
Hello, guys. Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you, Abo?
Good.
Where are you from?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Nice to have you in our class.
I don't know.
And it is
But before
black.
we can.
Yeah, it's all black. It's more simplistic. I don't know how is the word for that. Minimalist.
Minimalist. Yeah, I think minimalist is a good way to talk about it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a interface more cleaner. I don't know.
I have the all. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's suddenly today I realized that I have this interface.
Yeah, the image is clear.
Nice.
Is clearer, more clear than before.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's the same. I didn't notice.
For me too.
A different image or a clearer image.
Where am I? Where am I?
Marcelo, todo beleza, professor?
Oh, teacher, tudo beleza?
Tudo bem.
Mudaram o site aqui, o website?
Muito obrigado, muito obrigado.
It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you as well.
You know that I think that you are a nice teacher, no?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, everybody, one and all. Welcome. So, a few other people joining, actually. That's great.
What happened to the website? I was.
I think everything changed. Julissa noticed before me, so Julissa, you can share with Marcelo what you guys found. I have no idea.
Yeah, I wasn't too. I saw.
I just come and tease, guys. Yeah,
It is different.
Grocery shopping, so I bought tomatoes and onions and all sorts of things for cooking. And yeah, it was really fun. I had a lot of work also that I finished, so still have a lot going on though. I'm still very busy. Yeah.
Okay. Glad to hear that. I told you, Lisa, last time that I try not to take a class at this time, but today I only took 2 classes. So I decided to have this class. Yes, because I was really busy today. And I hope that I could sleep after your class.
Oh, fantastic!
The last time that I did it, I couldn't. I don't know. I'm thinking when I went to bed, I continued thinking about the topic of the class.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, it was really hard to fall asleep.
Awesome. Well,
but today I think it's different because I'm not as tired as maybe that day.
Sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, let me know, Liliana, if I'm going for on and on and on and on. You got to tell me, hey, I need to go to sleep. Stop. You know?
No. Okay. I'm ready to listen to attend your class.
Fantastic. Well, welcome as always. Julissa, yes, Colingo has changed, right?
Yes, I noticed when
I recently saw.
The class.
Yeah. Google changed everything.
Just now, right?
Between today and between 10 hours ago and now, yeah. I think this afternoon.
Was Google?
Yeah.
Really?
It was Google, yeah. It's Google changed it, I think. I don't think it's Colingo, guys.
No,
I think
Colingo
Google.
No, yes, it's Colingo. Yes, because yes, the each teacher is different, and the topic.
I didn't even check.
And you look.
I know. I didn't even look to see the Colingo anything. Ay, Dios mío.
Dios mío.
Yeah, it did change, right? It did change actually. Wow, you guys are geniuses. Wow. Alrighty, so that's awesome. And Saul, welcome back. How's it going?
Hi, Farhan. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So.
Here in the same way, so surprising with the new design of Hangot and Colingo.
Yeah, this is really cool, actually.
Nice.
Well,
I like it.
Yes, it's better. I need to change a little.
Okay, so it's not Google, it's Colingo then. Fantastic.
Is the two because in my Hangout I have a new interface.
What is a new Google? I don't see anything.
I will share with you my my screen that you can see how is the difference. Is now is in all the screen and in the menu is more tiny. You know here. And
how long have you been on Colingo, Abo?
This week I become
being a Colingo member this week.
Yep.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, do you guys, let's all go around and briefly introduce ourselves, guys, to Abo, and then we can get started. So I'll start real quick, guys. Abo, my name's Farhan. I live in the United States. I'm 24 years old, and I've been teaching on Colingo for about 3 months now.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Saul, you want to start, and we'll just go to the left?
What? I am testing some stuff with the code of the new pages.
Fantastic.
For example, I will share my screen, and you can see now the Colingo can if you change the resolution, the page it will adapt to the new content.
Wow, that's awesome. So they changed a lot of different things, right?
Are you seeing the style of the page?
Yeah, I do see it, yeah.
And before we have the link that says I want to attend.
Great. Great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great. Okay, guys. So Saul, do you mind to just